Hi everyone, this is Evelyn. You may know me from episode 1 of Self Care Infinity, if not, it's fine. Today we will be having a very special episode where I will be interviewing the creator, the one and only Ray Galavan. Hi everyone, I am here with Ray Galvan.
Hi everyone.
In case you didn't know, he's the one that created Self Care Infinity in 2020. So I was going to ask you, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So I created it in 2020 because I felt like with this pandemic, everyone's mental health was sort of deteriorating or doing worse. And I wanted to start conversations with people I knew about ways to take care of ourselves better and like to practice self care.
Yeah, yeah, I see. I went online and according to NAMI.org, 21% of US adults experienced mental illness in 2020. To put it into perspective, that's 52.9 million people, which represents 1 in 5 adults. The pandemic is still occurring to this day and we're actually going to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it.
Awesome. Let's get started. Regarding mental health, um, my question to you is how has the pandemic affected your mental health 2 years later?
That's a good question. Very loaded, but I think it's gotten better, but also not necessarily worse. But it's not the best at times. It's taught me a lot about boundaries, speaking up for my needs, and like speaking up just in general, like about how I feel. I definitely gotten so many experiences out of it, and yeah, I've learned that mental health, just like recovery, is not a straight line. It very much goes in waves. That's something we talked about before because I remember going to you about it once. Um, but yeah, I think it's a learning experience, and we're all learning, and just knowing a big lesson is just speaking up, whether it's like how you're feeling or what you need at that moment, and just get asking for help, which is I think a lot of people they feel like it's a weakness or like and they feel shame about it, you know. Um, but yeah, like boundaries are essential. I learned that like just because like let's say I'm not doing well at that moment and you are not too, I cannot expect you to be the person I lean on because you need to be okay as well. So that's when I'll be like, hey, like I'm not doing great. Can we talk? If you tell me, you know what, I'm not doing great either, then I learn to respect that because it's not on you that I'm not okay or that I need your help. You get me?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, just respecting boundaries, speaking up, um, getting help when you need it. I recently went back into therapy again. Um, and when people hear therapy, I think they automatically assume like, oh, you're crazy or just not well. But I think it helps like to speak to somebody who helps you develop better coping mechanisms, which I did. So 2 years later, I've gotten better with my coping mechanisms.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people struggle to find the right, not even the right ways, but the best method to cope with something that they're feeling. They don't know how to sit with it or just how
Yeah.
to go about. And so sometimes people um, seek out the ways that they think is best, and that often leads to other problems.
Yeah, it could be that it could be self-destructive at times.
Yes.
But like I like what you said about sitting with it because I think a lot of people don't they underestimate how much that does help, even if it sounds fucking terrible. Just like if you're feeling sad, it's okay to just feel sad because you gotta write it. So and like it doesn't go away, but like until you feel better, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I remember we spoke 2 years ago about social media and its huge factor in mental health. So my question to you is, do you see any issues with it? And one of the topics that I wanted to talk about regarding social media is toxic positivity. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so I think social media has its pros and cons. Pros, like obviously being connected to people, that's a big one. Second thing I think is great about it is signal boosting. Whether it's